What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're keto, I'm John. Good morning to everybody. I want to talk to you about 10 of the biggest keto mistakes, or 10 of the biggest mistakes made on keto. But first, if you haven't already hit that subscribe, click that subscribe and hit the bell so that you know when I put out future videos, because I know you're going to love the content of this channel, guys. I'm going to talk to you guys in just a minute. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday to everybody, TGIF. I'm excited. It's going to be a great weekend. Today, I want to talk about some of the most common mistakes made on keto. And I have what the 10 most common mistakes are made in my opinion here. I got some notes here that I'll be looking down to reference. So let's just jump right in and kick it off. All right, so first I'm going to say one of the biggest mistakes made when doing keto or starting keto is too much protein. A lot of people think it's like the Atkins diet, and it's not the same thing, guys. It's not a super high protein diet, but like I've talked to a whole lot of people after I got on keto and I discovered how amazing it was, and I would talk to people about maybe starting it or just telling them my thoughts about it. They always seem to have the same thought, and that was, oh, it's like that super high protein diet, right? And it's not. It should be very moderate protein, and your macros want to be between 70 to 80% fat, 10-20% protein, 5 to 10% carbs. So 10% is pretty low on the as far as getting your macros on for protein. So you wouldn't think that it would be that low, but it is. But yeah, I try not to eat as much protein as I once did. I do still get a fairly good amount because I do a lot of strength training and things like that. But don't eat too much protein. All right, so the one that goes right next to that, I believe, is, and these aren't really going to be in any order of biggest to smallest. So there's just my 10 common mistakes made that I think people make. Not enough fat, and it's tough sometimes. A lot of people just don't really know where to get the fat from, or they're just not familiar with getting fats from different sources, so they just don't get enough fat in the beginning. And if you're not getting enough fat, especially when first starting, guys, you're gonna have that low energy, you're gonna feel lethargic. So it's very important to get enough fat on keto. Remember, this is a high fat diet, not a high protein diet, and not a low carb diet, but a high fat diet. So all carbs are not created equal. This is number 3. You have to take into account the glycemic index. So having I've talked to people like, oh yeah, I'm doing keto, and I just save all my carbs and then I'll have a piece of cake or something. Well, first of all, that piece of cake is probably way more than the 30 you should be having every day. But they're not all created different. You can't have 30 grams of sugar and think it's going to be the same thing as having 30 grams of spinach. It just doesn't work that way. You can have your green vegetables and things like that that have a very low glycemic index, that aren't going to spike your insulin, that aren't going to kick you out of ketosis. But even if you stay at 30 grams, if you try to eat 30 grams of sugar, you're probably going to get kicked out of ketosis for the most part, generally speaking. So that's one of the biggest ones I think that is made. Number 4, not getting enough water. Remember, guys, you're not eating any carbs, or you're eating a very small amount of carbs. So, I mean, your body holds on to about 3.2 grams of water for each gram of carbohydrates it consumes. So when you're not consuming those carbs, your body's going to be flushing water. It's not going to be holding on to it as it would be on a carbohydrate diet. So make sure you're drinking tons of water and staying hydrated. That's very important. And what goes hand in hand with that is you're going to be peeing a lot more. So number 5, you're not getting enough electrolytes. A lot of people don't supplement, and going on to the ketogenic diet and lifestyle, you are going to be excreting a lot of your electrolytes through your urine because you're not retaining that water, you're not retaining some of those minerals. So you're kind of flushing through them. So it's very important to make sure you get enough electrolytes, guys. And I definitely take my supplements every day. I have a pill for magnesium that I take, 500 milligrams. And then I have new salt that I take for my potassium, and I'll just do some pink Himalayan salt. You can also do chicken broth for sodium, but remember, sodium is a very important part of electrolytes. A lot of people are scared of salt. Don't be scared of salt, whatever you've heard about it. I'm not a doctor, this is all my own research, but it's definitely not bad for you, especially if you're drinking enough water. So don't be scared of sodium. All right, so get enough electrolytes, that's number 5. Number 6, keto's not just low carb. It can be difficult to get enough fat in the beginning, especially. You have to make sure that you don't have a conceived notion of keto being just this low carb diet, because you can be on a low carb diet and still be taking in 100 grams of carbs, and that's not keto. So it's important to remember, it is about fine tuning those macros, and it's going to take some time in the beginning to get that all dialed in. So what goes hand in hand with that is number 7 is being scared of fat. I see it all the time. I talk to people all the time who are wanting to start keto, and some of them start keto, but they're doing all low fat or skim milk and all this, and I'm just like, no, you're doing it all wrong. Well, to be honest with you, I don't really usually say anything unless they ask for my opinion or something, but I'm thinking that in my mind. It's like, you just have to embrace the fat. You have to basically change everything that we've been taught for all these years about how fat's terrible for you, and it's going to kill you, and it's going to clog your arteries, and you're going to have a heart attack. And it's just so, guys, it's just furthest from the truth, guys. And I'm just so happy that we have so much research now coming out and coming into light and showing everybody that, hey, fat's not the enemy, and it's the only time fat can be bad for you is when you combine it in the diet with carbs and sugar. So I'm really happy about that. So don't be scared of fat. Embrace fat, guys, and just try to erase everything that we've been told for the last 3 decades or whatever it is that fat's bad for us. All right, so number 8, overeating on keto. Oh, I'm on keto, I can eat however much I want as long as it's all high fat, right? No. Food is energy ultimately, guys. If you're not using up that energy, you're going to store it. So even on keto, and I've definitely done this, on a weekend or a holiday weekend or something where I've eaten too much and I've put on weight, so you can definitely eat too much on keto. You can eat too many calories. You cannot eat as much as you want. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry to burst that bubble, but keto is not a license to eat as much fat as you want. It just doesn't work that way. It's not how the body works. So don't go crazy and, eat fat buffets or something. All right, number 9, making mental changes. So important, guys. You have to make the mental changes in regards to the unhealthy eating habits that you had in the first place. And this is for people who are overweight, who are struggling with weight loss. If you're doing keto and you're not making any lifestyle changes or any mental changes in the bad behavior that you had in the first place, in the negative behavior in relation to food and eating food and habits that you have or may have had, you just are doing yourself harm. So you've got to make those mental changes and figure out underlying issues, if there are any, on why it is that you were overeating, why it is you're overweight, why it is that you are heavy. So make sure you make those mental changes, guys. And last but not least, number 10 is comparing your successes to others. I've seen people fail because of this. It just will discourage you. Everybody is different. You have to have your own story, your own journey, and do things your own way. You're not going to have the exact same successes as everybody. If you and one other person do the exact same plan, you could have 2 different results. It's not guaranteed that you're going to have the same results from the same plan because everybody's different. So you have to remember that. Don't get discouraged. Just keep your eye on the prize. Remind yourself of what your goals are and just this is a lifestyle. It's a lifelong thing, and you're gonna make mistakes along the way. I know I do, and it's okay, guys, because like I said, we're in this for the long haul. This is my life. Keto is my life, and so if I slip up here and there, that's all right. It just matters that I get right back on the horse. So these are my 10, these are, in my opinion, 10 of the most common mistakes made on keto. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I really enjoyed making it. So I'm sure that icon's going off up above me right now. Click on that icon so that you can get subscribed to this channel. I greatly appreciate all of you who have subscribed already. Go ahead and head over to our Facebook group. If you're keto community, it will be in the description, and join up. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Life's too short. Have a fantastic day.